The Executive Secretary of the National Board for Technical Education (NBTE), Professor Idris Bugaje, says the board has proposed funding of the National Occupational Standards (NOS) and the National Skills to drive skills development to the highest point. Bugaje said this in Abuja at an advocacy roundtable and media briefing of the Skills Care Development Organization (SCDO), organized by the Sector Skills Council (SSC) for Education and Social Care. He said that the skills funding would come through the National Skills Qualification Framework (NSQF) Act, which had been submitted to the presidency, while hoping that the act would be accepted by 2023.
Over the years, the NSQF was rolled out, the Sector Skill Councils were formed, and we would like Sector Skill Council really to champion the promotion of skills. The development of NOS is something which we would like to hand over to the different sector skill councils in the next 2 years, not more than that, because that's primarily their job. We want this thing to be industry driven, and that's why chairmanship and leadership of the sector skill councils is largely from the private sector, and that's how it is done globally. Today, skills have become at the center stage of employment all over the world. In fact, the relevance of universities and polytechnics, conventional ones, is diminishing by the day. In the next 20 years, even universities overseas will be at a loss. I mean, they will be losers. They will not get students provided if they do not, shift, if they don't change, if there is no paradigm shift to skills. The reason is because employment today is looking at skills more than the certificates.
Dr. Angela Ajala, the Council Chairperson of Sector Skills Council for Education, who said the curriculum was shifting to skills, stressed the need to key into the new trend. Ajala said schools were now involved in the teaching of skills through the integration of NSQF to trade subjects in secondary schools.
The federal government, in its wisdom, approved the National Skills Qualification Framework in 2013. Now it's a private sector-driven initiative, and the aim is to see how we can begin to put together with our degrees skills and competencies that will deliver the jobs we want to do. We are representing the education sector and the social care sector. And you will all agree with me that curriculum is shifting to skills, especially entrepreneurial skills, as the present curriculum will not take the future leaders we are grooming to their dreamland. The present curriculum will not address the market demands that are globally relevant and that will benchmark every child to be able to perform in the marketplace. And so with the introduction of the National Skills Qualification Framework, this is a major game changer in the education sector, because we're going to be looking at how we begin to catch them young. We're working with the relevant government agencies to develop a policy and a phased plan to enable the integration of the trade subjects, for example, for the schools that have that run the secondary school system. There are trade subjects, and those trade subjects, we want to begin to take them to have a level of certification, even at the minimum level of level 1. So a child graduates from your school, and the child is not just graduating with a WAEC or a NECO, but has a certificate in a skill that can help the child to even go on in life if he wants to terminate education at that point.
The Council Secretary, Dr. Bukola Dosumu, said there was a need to professionalize care workers to better deliver on child rights issues and protections.
Orphans and vulnerable children, wherever they are, individually, drug abuse, those with behavioral disorders, drug abuse, mentally abused, terminally ill patients, youth support workers, all these border around social care. So when we hear education and social care, we should not just think, no, it's confined to the early years only. It goes beyond that. So why do we need professional care services? It's important so that we can improve the quality of service delivery in our sector, and we can help to ensure a positive quality of life even for workers By the time we begin to professionalize and certify the activities of workers in early years at that level, the professionalism is also going to help improve the quality of their life, and also better handling of issues, child rights and protection, social concerns, confidentiality. All these will come to bear. So what role can you play? You can educate yourself, and we are glad you are here. When we call out for more forum in future for us to have more discussions in different fora, please make yourself available, educate your shared self. You need to share with others. You need to be an advocate for skills, and then you need to get involved.
The chairperson of the Nigerian Institute of Welding, Dr. Solomon Edebiri, commended the role of the SSC and the NBTE in making sure that Nigerians acquire skills in addition to their certificates.
The skills in Nigeria could have started yesterday. Like someone said, if you fail to skill a nation, you have successfully planned to kill the nation. The future of every nation is skills. And I'm glad that plans are on now to bring in the schools, primary, secondary, tertiary. As a matter of fact, speaking with some universities, a lot of them are now beginning to think that you come into the university to acquire a degree. When you are leaving the university, you should also acquire a skill. So therefore, certification and qualification will come in. And the idea of going into the school, probably have to spend 3 years learning skill and coming out with a certification. And using the NSQ framework, we need to begin to look at how these people can get qualification statement when they leave. What I mean by qualification statement, the framework is defined, or it is structured in a manner that you have to go to the field whereby the final certification will be done. I've had a conversation with the ES on this many times and the director, and I think that's an angle that probably will need to work on and restructure so that people can walk out with a certificate and they can be monitored as well to see that their proficiency is kept alive.
We've now seen the reality of not having just the academic growth of our children. We want to develop their skills as well. We want to see that our children move towards the world trend in vocational education.